Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be rating a new Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. I always like doing these videos whenever new characters come out, and I usually do it like 2 or 3 days after they release. And I think at this point I have a good grasp as to how good these guys are. I've been using them non-stop. So every setup, everything, I've just been using them. So you definitely can take my word for what's going on here. But first off, the first thing I want to talk about with these guys is that they're extremely versatile. Okay, first of all, extremely versatile. They're Sun Family, Saiyan, Vegeta Clan, Blue Saga, which is actually a really good team right now, and that's pretty much it. But regardless, that's still very, very versatile. So you can run these guys with plenty of characters in the meta right now. So I think I'll give them a A+ when it comes to usability, like versatility, not usability, versatility, because you can use them on like so many different setups. Like, I mean, every character in the anniversary you can use them with, so it's a W. Even prior to the anniversary stuff, you can use a lot of characters from there too. So they're just super versatile, right? But that's the first thing. Second thing, I want to talk about overall how their kits intertwines with everything in the meta, basically. So their whole entire thing is to be able to build up a Spirit Bomb and then launch it and destroy everything, basically. I mean, it does damage to the whole team and does damage, and it basically could kill everything. The one caveat with this character is you need skill to use them. Like, for them to be really good, they're not like on paper. I honestly thought they would completely gap the game, but they actually don't. They're more balanced than that because they require skill. But if you're skillful enough and you get them right, they will destroy everything. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you're skillful enough and you constantly in those matches, or if you're getting lucky and getting priorities over and over, or if you're skilled enough to consistently just get priorities over and over, their Spirit Bomb and the damage they do is going to be really good. Because one key thing people probably are going to be have a misconception with here is the Spirit Bomb. They expect it to one-shot everything at all times. That is not always the case, because one thing they do is they stack damage. So let's say it is never a good idea, if you're about to have the Spirit Bomb let off and you have not used at least 3 or 4 cards before it happens, like 10 counts before it happens, because they stack damage and it lasts 10 counts. Okay, so what happens is people will be on the defensive side taking hits and they have not even used 1 card, and it's been 10 counts since they used the last card. So they're going to be flat damage, or they have a base stat of 360. But if you're consistently stacking 30% damage, let's say you use 4 cards, that is 480%. Actually, no, I'd be wrong. Okay, so we got 390, 420, 450, 480. I was right. 480% damage. That is significantly higher. Okay, significantly higher. And then, not to mention, they have the 50% extra as well, so that's 530, right? And who knows what else they're getting damage from. But I'm just going off of that 530 of feature boost too, 550. So they're gonna be, if you use 4 cards before you do Spirit Bomb, it basically gonna one-shot everything. All right. There's no way around it. It's going to one-shot everything, and plus it does transcendent damage. So you want to make sure you use cards before you let that Spirit Bomb go off. You don't want to be defensively taking hits before it goes off. You just want to be the one initiating stuff first. So that's that. But one thing too is, like I said, they're more of a skilled unit. So the one thing you have to do with them, you have to prioritize them, I would say, instantly in the match. I think if once you start with them, you basically have to prioritize them. Like, no matter what, you have to use them. You have to build up their strike gauge so you can get the Spirit Bomb going. Because first of all, they're giving 50% ally damage. That's something you really want. That's a lot of damage. That's like Pan support right there, which is ridiculous. Just off a freaking Spirit Bomb gauge, right? You're giving the whole team's Pan support, but it takes a little bit to fill up the gauge. You need to use cards, a good amount of cards. Every card but a blue fills up the gauge. So you want to be using a whole bunch of cards with them first. You don't really want to prioritize any other character, no matter what you're using. There's no other character really in the game that you really need to prioritize. Maybe Vegeta, kind of. But even then, not really, because he draws a lot of cards off speed, especially if you're in release type gauge. But a lot of times with Vegeta, you want to build a release type gauge. But obviously, this is not about him. But, you know, the majority of these characters in the game, in the meta, you don't necessarily have to build them up first. These guys you do, because you want to get the Spirit Bomb off. You get the Spirit Bomb off quicker, especially if you snipe out a really strong character. You have a huge advantage of winning. Okay, so you definitely want to prioritize them so you get all the ally damage and just the Spirit Bomb off, right? So this is what I mean, that there's a lot of aspects to this character that do require like a good amount of skill. Because if you don't have a good amount of skill, you can mess up a lot of things here, and you won't have the gauge filled up properly and all that good stuff. So basically, you just have to prioritize the gauge. And then one other thing, this reminds me of fusing Super Gogeta. They have their gauge fills like halfway whenever they get half health. They have a half health disrupt, and their gauge will fill halfway for that too. So if you're getting hit on the other side, it's not the end of the world, because unfortunately you won't probably build it as fast, but half of your unique gauge will get filled, so that will help out a little bit, and they'll get disrupted as well. But this character has so much going for them, man. Unfortunately, I will say this. They're a kind of character I don't really see aging the greatest, to be honest. I think once they're off featured, they're going to take a big hit. But I think another big thing is they're probably going to end up releasing a green character that is not a powerful opponent. Or actually it could be the other way around. I don't know, but I feel like eventually when they're trying to counter this character, because they always do, they always like specifically target this big celebration Part 3 Ultras. They're probably going to end up releasing a green that is not powerful opponent, so they won't be able to take the type neutral damage from the Spirit Bomb. So I think that's also a big flaw in their kit. I feel like they just went neutral always. I don't think there was a reason for them not to have that. Because I think longevity wise, that's going to hurt them, because I think that's just their way of figuring out a way to like counter them. But regardless, I mean, only time will tell, but as of right now, I would give them, I'm going to rate them out of 10. I would 100% give them a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, because they do have some flaws, like I said, longevity-wise. I think they might not be the greatest. So I would say, honestly, I would summon. If you guys are thinking about summoning, I would definitely think it's a good summon. But, oh yeah, I forgot to also mention this. They also are very kind of like Star Reliance, I would say. I think, I feel like if you're summoning for an Ultra, it's best to always try to get them to Red 1 if it's possible, because I know how bad Ultra Randos can be. If you saw my summon video, I just got super lucky, so I'm lucky enough to have them Red 1. But if you're summoning for Ultra, I think your main priority should be to get some Red 1, if it's even possible, like I said. But if you're getting so shafted to the point where you're about to reach Pity, I would honestly say they're not necessarily a must-have, especially if you have other characters that are really strong, because there's other characters in the meta that can match up to this character. This character doesn't gap the game, like I said. They don't gap the game. So I would say they're number 1, but they definitely don't gap the game, alright? But I feel like if you're free to play, and you're getting to a point where Pity is becoming the main thing, and you're not able to get 2 copies, because in this character, the difference between 5 stars and Red 1 is astronomical. Even Red 1 to Red 3 it's crazy. It's a humongous difference, alright? So, and I feel that's been the case for like a majority of the characters in this meta. The only ones I would say that really didn't seem very star reliant was Gohan and Trunks. But other than that, I think every other character has been like extremely star reliant, right? So like Broly, if he's not Red 1 or higher, he's gonna struggle. Gogeta, he can be good if you're good enough at the game. Still, regardless, I think you just double Zenkai buff him. I think if you're 5 stars, I think he'll be good. But regardless, you have to double Zenkai buff him, right? But these guys, I think, are very star reliant. So if you're summoning, you definitely have to aim for 2 copies, I would say. I think 1 copy isn't going to cut it, especially in the long run. Especially since I already said, I think in the long run they might not last the longest. I think they'll last probably at the most 3 months, to be honest. Unfortunately, which is not terrible considering how other characters have gone. But I think 3 months is like how long they might have their reign on the game. We'll see what else they release. Who knows? Maybe they'll gain a crazy amount of value. Maybe they bring like a support character that makes this character even better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I have no clue. But even then, who knows? Maybe even they have more value than I'm saying they will. But from what I'm seeing, the way this character works, I think they'll probably last 3 months. I think. But I still think they're worth summoning for, to be honest, if you want to summon for them. But like I said, I don't think they're must-have. I give them a 9.5 out of 10. I think they're insanely powerful. Number 1 as of right now. We have to see what we get for the after party, what character come out for the after party. So, you guys let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys want to be summoning for these guys. I know you guys probably already have, probably even waiting for me. But let me know if you were waiting and you're waiting for a video like this, and if you're going to be summoning now, or if you're just already summoned, if you got them. Let me know what you guys think, man. See you guys next one, man. Peace.